Rich is pretty great thinking up ideas on the spot like he does every week on the Tuesday Morning Ad Clinic. Insiders submit their ads and submit to Rich's punishment. Listen to this clip where Rich tells an insider, "I don't believe in you yet." Big guy?
Number 8.
Let's go to a principle from Malcolm Gladwell, the famous author of the book, The Tipping Point, Outliers, and specific to this conversation, Blink. Are you familiar with Malcolm Gladwell?
By name, I haven't read his books yet.
Okay, he's got a book called Blink, and it has a theory in it that I tend to agree with. And here's the theory. The theory says that people make extraordinarily important decisions using extraordinarily little information. Now, that sounds a little counterintuitive to the MYM style, which says educate, educate, educate. But here's what I really want to impart to you. What I want to impart to you is having a bunch of marketing and explanation and drop-downs and click-throughs and all that stuff, I think is worthwhile and useful. But what we really want to do is we want to think through this question. When somebody comes to our website, what do we want them to know? Well, we've identified that in the earlier part of this discussion. We want them to know that their website may not be getting the job done, and there's some stuff that they're probably not even aware of that needs to be integrated into their website to make it fully powerful. True enough?
Yep.
Okay, that's your main premise. Okay, so what do I want them to do? Well, I want them to get a 21-point analysis. Okay, well, what if somebody isn't ready for a 21-point analysis because they need more information, they need to understand it better? So here's what I want to think through, and all of that talk is to come to this particular moment right now, which is I come onto your website, I hear your premise that my website may not be getting the job done. I'm interested in maybe getting a 21-point analysis. However, there's a problem. I don't believe you yet. Now, does that mean that I think you're lying to me? No, absolutely not. Does that mean that your hypothesis and what you're saying and what you want me to know does not ring true? No. It just means that, okay, I've got to get further down this educational spectrum from hearing a hypothesis that rings true and sounds good to understanding some of the details. So what I'm going to recommend is that we think through what kind of information would somebody want to see or need to see to feel like, you know what, I think this guy's got something here.
Right.
And I think that...
Sounds like the case building you talk about.
Well, but here's what I'm trying to say. If this was O.J.'s trial back in 95 or whatever,
yeah,
you're pulling out the bloody footprint track, glove, blood splatter in the opening arguments. The jury's just not quite ready for this. And some of the jury doesn't ever even want this stuff at all, but it's what you're giving them. So what I'm saying is, let's give an overview. Let's give something very simple and easy for people to understand. So first of all is you need to have some sort of an overview discussion, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes long. I don't know how long. Maybe a video that you could create. You know, video is very powerful, and it just explains. So let me tell you what that video says. Hey, how you doing? I'm Daniel, or I'm Profari, or whatever I am, and I appreciate you being on this website, and I've made a pretty bold claim that your website's probably not getting the job done, and you're probably thinking, wow, you're crazy, my website's great, and it looks fantastic, and I spent a lot of money, and we SEO it, and you may even be saying, and it works really, really well. And if that's the case, congratulations. You know what? There's a lot of good websites out there, but I just want you to know that there's a pretty good chance that it could be even better. Now, here's what we found. There's 4 main areas of websites. Now, I'm not saying that this is every single area. I'm just saying these are the 4 major ones. And let's take a quick look at them. And this is maybe done on video, and you've got them, you know, popping up on the screen as you say them, right?
Yep.
The 4 main areas are technology, aesthetics, search engine optimization, and marketing. Now let's explore this for just a minute. Blah, blah, blah. There's your overview. Getting someone to your website is important. Obviously, if they're not there, nothing's going to happen. But once they get there, do they stick? Do they convert? Is there something there to make them feel like and believe? Well, show me that in action.
Did you hear Daniel, the insider on the call, clacking away on his keyboard while Rich was throwing off pearls? If you aren't taking notes, you're crazy. You should even take notes when Rich is slamming everybody else. It's a lot less painful to scribble "throw out" when it's about another guy's ad. If you haven't taken notes and you're sweating like a jock in math class, don't worry. Rich records his webinars and they're available at www.mymonline.com.